Okay, what are you saying, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well this Wednesday morning. As always, guys, if you're enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And of course, make sure you do go and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future, because of course you will be notified. But guys, welcome back to another stream. Nazar, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Karish, good morning. Welcome. Hope you're doing good. Philip, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Okay, we'll take a look at US 100 as well. We'll go through some indices to start things off for a change. Normally do the indices later on, but we'll go through some to begin with. But yeah, it's a big day today in terms of the interest rates later. It's going to be interesting watch, especially with USD. But as we all know, or if we don't know, the rates will affect pretty much all currencies. Of course, USD will be the main focus, but CAD, Aussie, Pound, Euro, all currencies will be affected. So you definitely want to keep your eye on that one. But yeah, we'll take a look at NAS. So yeah, that's looking a little bit awkward there. I'm still very bullish on the indices. I do think price is likely to move higher. And if I'm looking to trade US 100, I'll only be looking at long opportunities with this one. Maybe intraday could be a little bit tricky, but I know from a swing bias, I'm still looking for us to come back into the high here at 19,900, and then eventually the high at 2,700. So I still do expect to see a lot more upside for US 100. Let me know your bias as well, what you're looking to do with it. But I'll be looking at longs. I did point out this area here is a nice place for a buy. Was price support over there, was resistance not long ago. And of course, recently we had a really nice break of that same area. So to me, this is like a nice place for a buy. Should we see a pullback into this level? And then looking for that next higher low in that continuation. Because we had a really nice breakout. I think this was after, was that NFP or CPI? I think that was CPI last week. Yeah, CPI last week, I think anyway. And we've seen a lot of upside since then. The market hasn't really retraced. We're kind of just slowing down, becoming a bit more corrective, and now we're consolidating. So if we could pull down, collect some more buyers, see that next higher low, I think that would be a great place for a long and a great opportunity from a swing perspective to see if we can take it back to the high. If you're looking at some intraday setups, at least intraday setups inside that area, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan based on how price is moving. I mean, we're kind of ranging here, so effectively you want to be buying low and selling high, but we're not moving too well. If you're looking for trades in here, I'll just focus my entries in this kind of area and try and pick up some longs there after some rejection and see if I can push it back to the high. That will be what I'm after, but I'm not a big fan of the intraday, kind of what we're looking at right now. So intraday, I'll probably hold off for now, just because of the conditions, very choppy, but I do expect to see higher prices for NAS. US 30, I think that one just creates some higher highs. S&P, did that create some higher highs? Just about, I think so, wicked through. So yeah, I do think NAS will eventually get back to the high, but this one's got a lot of work to do before we get there. But for now, if you can get some nice pullbacks, I do like this to the upside. I'll go through some more indices as well. Euro USD, okay, I'll touch on that one. Nkeba, gold, okay, we'll go through gold as well, waiting for a retest to give us a new high for sales we break below 25.67. Okay, I'll have a look, see at that one as well. On daily chart, use 100, see trend line going downwards, so I'm sold. Okay, so you're bearish bias on NAS. Let me see if I can find the daily trend line. I think, are you talking about these highs here? Okay, there's some trend line there. I mean, in terms of my view of a trend line, I always like trend lines that create new lows or create new highs. So, for example, I wouldn't necessarily draw a trend line here because this move here didn't create a new low. I mean, it's not a trend line. It's just not a strong one, because effectively what I want to see price do is do something like this as we create higher highs and higher lows, and then I can draw a trend line like this. So now every time we bounce, we create a high, a new high. So with this one, I would like to have seen this push create a new low for me, and then that will be a meaningful trend line for me. So this trend line, I wouldn't really show much respect to, but of course, price is already showing some rejection there, and possibly we could melt to the downside. Of course, so probabilities at the end of the day. So we could definitely reject that and see some downside. But I think anyway, it plays into my hands anyway for the long bias. If we were going to hold this area and see some downside, that could give me that bullish opportunity to take price higher anyway. So if price can reject that area and see some downside, that would be great. I'm not expecting this for NAS. But if we can push down to this area and see if we can find some rejection, I do like that to the upside. I'm still pretty bullish on the indices, but yeah, there is a trend line going through price there, and price does seem to be having a hard time breaking through. But yeah, I'm not looking to follow NAS to the downside just yet. In fact, you might kind of be squeezing like this in some type of pennant price action. So you might see price kind of squeeze and then eventually commit either up or down. So that could be what NAS is trying to do as well. But I'm looking to take NAS higher. I'll go through US 30 and S&P, and then I'll touch on Euro USD. What's up, Manny? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Tashi, good morning. Good morning. Hope you're well. FX Wolf, good morning. I hope you're doing good. Brian, what is up? Welcome. Will, good morning. I hope you are doing good. Hope everyone is doing well this Wednesday. It's going to be an interesting day in the markets. Where it is US 30. There we go. So yeah, US 30 is coming to the upper end of this ascending channel again. So I'm looking to see if price will break through, or will it respect it and put that next higher high and come back down. Now, this is never really a trade which I would look to take, which is the sells here in this type of scenario, given that the market is definitely bullish on multiple time frames, and most importantly, the higher time frames, daily, weekly, monthly. And this is definitely a bullish market. So I'll never try and short and call the high there, even if we do have some confluence like this ascending channel that says that, okay, price is in a vicinity where we could put the next high in and we could see some downside. So shorts do make sense to a degree, but it's just never a trade I'll to take. I'm always looking to go with the market, with momentum, with the trend most of the time. So if you're looking to trade US 30, it's in a nice area where we could see some downside, but I would definitely wait for us to start committing lower and see if we can break back below that high. Because if we do, then of course the sells hold a little bit more merit. If not, we might consolidate and even break higher up. And it will always be difficult to try and call it with a stop loss as well, because price can just keep taking your stop as we kind of push higher, so on and so forth. So it's always difficult to short in that scenario. But yeah, I do think we're in an area where we could start to retrace. But the key thing I want to see is price breaking back below that area, and then we can maybe see some more downside there for NAS. But it's just kind of me expecting some retracement, because the market has been so bullish of late, and now we're back in this area. It's kind of an area that it makes sense to retrace from, and S&P is in a similar situation as well, back at that high, back at the high end of the ascending channel. Well, that's an area where it does make sense to see price retrace. Again, would it be a short opportunity which I would take? No, but if you are looking for shorts, I can see the logic behind it, and from where we're trading, the location we're trading, it does make some sense. So maybe it's time to see some downside for the indices today. Of course, we'll see what the news has in store, but in terms of the technicals, we're at some areas where it might be time for a pullback. So that's kind of what I'll be eyeing up there for US 30 and NAS and S&P. I'll go through Euro USD and gold. I believe those were requested earlier. So yeah, I'll go for Euro USD and gold. What's up, Georgie Boo? Hope I'm saying that correctly. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. In Keba, pound yen, okay, we'll go through pound yen as well. On the full hour, no problem. And we go through Euro USD. So yeah, Euro, I'm still holding on to some longs. Did see a bit of downside yesterday, but didn't really amount to much. I was expecting price to probably come back and retest this area, but it didn't quite have enough juice to do that, or at least not yet anyway. So yeah, I'm still holding to this long position, see if I can get it back to the high there, roughly around 1.125. And once we get there, if we get there, then I'll start to aggressively trail my stop and seeing how far I can take it. But if we can take up this high, that would be great. Where we've got the wick over there, then I'll start to trail my stop loss underneath this low. And then if it really flies underneath that low there as well. But so far, looking to see if we can take out 1.1156. As I said yesterday, if you're looking to get involved with Euro, I would be looking at a retest of this area here for a buy. I think that's a nice intraday setup. Maybe some entries on the hourly or 30-minute or even lower could look good there to take price higher. We've seen some really nice momentum, in these bullish moves. Big push there, consolidation. Big push there, consolidation. So momentum's clearly with the buyers here. So if we can get, some type of pullback, there's a good chance the buyers will kick back in and see price continue higher. So yeah, with Euro, I will be looking at longs. If you want to try and find some entries intraday, I mean, I wouldn't be looking to buy it now since we're coming out, back into that high there. Now's not the best time to looking for buys, but if we're to come lower, safer place for a stop, and then see if you can take it back to the upside. So yeah, that's kind of my thought process with Euro. I think pound had a big push down. In fact, pound actually had the retest yesterday, which we were discussing as well. I said for both Euro and pound, a retest of this area would look nice for some longs. Pound USD actually went and did that. I think pound had some news yesterday, which is why it was pretty weak and actually got the retest. So that would be a nice entry there around 8 p.m. So it's a little bit late in the day. But then early London, we kicked off and now we're looking really bullish. I think there was some news this morning actually for pound, which is why we're looking so bullish. But yeah, really nice retest there. So that would have been a nice intraday setup. Euro didn't quite give that. But yeah, I wouldn't try and look for some entries now if you're not already involved because, we're trading back at resistance again. So now is not the best time to look for buys. If you're looking for sells, then yeah. But buys, I think that ship has sailed. We'll go through gold. So gold, I think gold was retracing, wasn't it? Yeah, gold has seen some downside. I mean, nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough as much as I want to see. I'm looking for a push to 25 to 30. So I need to see a lot more downside before I get involved or start looking to take some positions on gold. But again, the analysis is very simple, very straightforward. With gold, we've got a lovely level of resistance. Price has respected it on numerous occasions. We got the breakout and now simply looking for the retest. This is as textbook as it comes, really. Just need to see if gold will get there for the retest because yeah, it might want to continue higher. But this is where I'll look to get involved. That's the only level that makes sense. Because again, as I keep saying, we're all-time highs. There is no structure to work with on the left here. So it's either we come back and get the retest or we don't. But still bullish and still looking for something like this on gold. And I have marked out that psychological level at 2,600, which could be a nice kind of theoretical target. But I think trailing stops makes the most sense in these conditions because number one, the gold is very bullish and it's in that kind of scenario where it could just take off and you might not want to miss out on the rally. So, yeah, I think trading stops makes the most sense with gold. But yeah, that's my kind of, that's my take on gold there. Just looking for the pullbacks and then for the buys. You're waiting for a retest. Give us a new high for sells if it break at 25.84. $25.67. Okay, you're talking about some of these intraday setups here. 25.67 would be that low there. So if that breaks, you're looking for a sell. So if this low breaks here, I would imagine maybe you're looking for a sell into that area. Then a retest for a sell. Okay, I mean, that I can get behind that. I mean, I'll probably be looking at like 5 minute for entries. Maybe not 5, maybe like 15-minute for entries there. Because that is a pretty small range to work with. But the market has been pretty consistent with all these lower highs intraday. So if we do break through that floor, the chances are we are probably going to push to this low here. So I like that kind of outlook. But in terms of entries, I think 15 is probably, maybe even 5 actually, 15 or 5 in terms of refining the entry for a good risk reward. Because, yeah, it's not the biggest range to work with, but if we do break that floor, I do think we'll get there anyway. So it does make a lot of sense. But yeah, for me, that's what I'll be focusing on in terms of gold. We'll take a look at pound yen as well. Morning, Manzoni. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Antonio, what is up? Pound CAD. We shall take a look as well. Karis took my profits on gold yesterday and ran. Fair enough, because I was. Oh yeah, I remember you telling the short position. Yeah, I mean, when you're shorting gold in these conditions, you always have to be a bit conservative. You can't be too aggressive because, who knows when gold's going to make its next, sudden move higher. You definitely don't want to be caught on the wrong side of that. So the shorts, they do make sense. The market's quite stretched. We're likely to retrace. So that's what you're looking to take advantage of. But it's just up to gold how far we retrace before that next kind of impulse happens. So you've got to watch out for that. So if you're going to be taking shorts, taking your profit pretty quickly, not a bad way to maneuver around that. If you're buying, you kind of want to be a bit more flexible and really try and give gold the room it needs to go, because you never know, you could be on the right side of a move like this and price could start flying again. But yeah, that's kind of my take on gold. In terms of pound yen, we did see some upside yesterday for the yen pairs. Again, we have been talking about the yen pairs quite a lot this week, looking for that retracement. I'm still very, very bearish on them. So as they push higher, I'm looking for opportunities to find some lower highs and shorts to take them right back down again. So pound yen seeing some upside. CAD yen, I think, we're seeing some upside. New Zealand yen, Euro yen, dollar yen had a nice push. Aussie yen, Swiss yen, and this one is the one I'm probably most interested in. But all of them did see some nice upside. So I want to see what we can do around 189. This is the area I marked out on the weekend, which if we can see price push into, that would definitely interest me for some sells. As long as price doesn't take out this high here. So even if you were to push all the way back to the high, I'll still be looking at sells anywhere from here till that high, really. If you start taking out that high and start putting some higher lows in, then yeah, we're probably not going to sell off at that point. So I don't really want to see price completely breaking through that area. So I'll be looking for opportunities within this. This is my kind of first area of interest. See how we react. If things look good, I'll take some entries. If not, I'll sit on the sidelines. Maybe we push a little bit higher. It'll be up to the yen pairs, but I'm gearing up for some sells. I'm definitely looking for pound yen to come a lot further down. Just need to find the right time to strike. But a very bullish close yesterday, so I do anticipate some more upside today to get us back into 189, and then I can start to discuss some short opportunities. But for now, still just waiting for us to get there. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with pound yen. I'll go through pound CAD next. Manzoni, just a quick question. 5 factors leave you taking the position when the pair is experiencing a new high or a new low, like in the case of gold right now. What do you mean my criteria to take a trade? I mean, again, it's not necessarily 5, the magic 5 factors that take me into the trade. I mean, the key thing I'm looking at is market structure, which is direction, and then I'm looking at opportunities to buy and sell it. Where does it make sense to buy? Where does it make sense to sell? A lot of my setups do derive from breaking retests. A lot of them derive from taking trades at swing highs or swing lows, so double tops, double bottoms as well. But the key thing I'm looking at is just making sure I'm positioning myself in a sensible place that allows me to flow with the trend. So has the market pulled back enough? Is it pulled back into an appropriate area where buyers are stepping in and sellers are exiting their positions, and we could see the trend continue? That's kind of what I'm thinking in terms of opportunities. But for gold, for instance, gold for me is just a very simple, very textbook setup, because we're at all-time highs right now. The market is just very, very bullish. We're just putting in higher low after higher low. So my duty as a swing trader is to find where that next higher low will be. And the most logical place would be on the retest of this structure here, which we broke through. If I drop to the 4H, the most logical place would be here. Of course, it could form anywhere. It could form here, but that's just not what I'm looking at. I'm always taking trades on a retest of structure. So that's kind of what I would be looking for price to do. For that retest, I'll be looking for my candlestick patterns in that area. If it looks good, if it's efficient, I'll take my entries and see how the trade gets going. But yeah, I mean, the key things we're looking at is falling market structure and support resistance, and then of course my entry triggers in terms of candlestick patterns. That's basically what I'm doing in a nutshell. Of course, there's other things I'm thinking about, which are kind of developed as you gain experience in the market, so you can kind of see which setups are better to take than others. But those are the fundamental things I'm focusing on. What's up, OP? Hope you're well. Okay, we'll take a look at Euro NZD. First, let me go through pound CAD as well. Let me know if that answered your question, Anzoni. Okay, so we'll go to pound Canadian. So yeah, pound CAD. This one had a nice push back down, but just not enough for the retest. I was looking to see if price can come back into 1.784 and then use that to continue, but pound was pretty bullish this morning off the back of some news. So it looks like we're just on our way right now. But yeah, the trend is still very much alive. We had a major level of resistance around the 1.784 area, 785. And I believe that was Monday's candle that broke through. So I said that if we do get a retest here, that's a nice place for a buy, and just see if you look to continue the trend higher. I have marked out a big level up there. If I go to the monthly chart, you can see this is some major resistance up there. Price could be looking to push towards. So maybe that's where price wants to retest after breaking through this level here. But it doesn't look like the retest was. It doesn't look like the retest happened at that area, unfortunately. I mean, we could, of course, always come back down and then get the buy, but it looks like price seems to be leaving us in the dust a little bit at that level. So yeah, pound CAD I would be pretty bullish on, looking for price to continue higher. Again, I wouldn't necessarily target the level up there. I mean, should we retrace from here? I feel like targets back at the high makes the most sense. If you're going to trade a stop, you can trade a stop, but that might be where price is looking to work towards. But yeah, still very, very bullish for pound CAD. The fact that we broke through that level so convincingly, it tells me that there's probably more upside in store for now. Let me know what you're looking to do with pound CAD as well. I'll go take a look at Euro NZD. Good morning, Roadway. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Yes, it did. Okay, good to hear. We'll go through Euro NZD first. And again, any other questions, just feel free to let me know in the chat. If I can answer, I can answer. If I don't have the answer, of course, I'll let you know. In terms of Euro NZD has been a little bit annoying, I'm not going to lie. It looks like it's starting to roll over and USD has been a pair which I've been focusing on for quite a few days, quite a few weeks actually, looking for the retest of this level. But it looks like price is just about topping out right now. And it looks like it might be getting to roll over, because the plan with Euro NZD has been that, okay, we've had a big dump to the downside there in the daily / 4 hour. Now I'm looking at the correction of that, the retest of the level, and the continuation. That is the plan. This was our head and shoulder pattern, left, head, and right shoulder. That was the neckline, broke through that convincingly. So I've been looking for the retest of that to find my shorts and get into a position. And price has just come so close, and it keeps coming up, testing this area, coming back down, testing the same area, coming back down. Now it's back here again. If price starts bleeding through this level, then I'm going to be expecting that to happen. If we can respect it, then maybe price comes up, test my area, and then I get the sell. But it's an if but maybe situation here. Of course, as a trader, I just got to stay on my toes and stay ready. But that's the level I've pre-planned. I've done my analysis. Now I'm just waiting to get the trade, and it looks like I might not get it. Of course, not the end of the world. Many opportunities I'll miss because price almost gets to my level, and there's many opportunities that will get to my level that give me great trades, and there'll be many trades that get to my levels and fail as well. So it won't be the first, won't be the last, but yeah, it looks like USD might be on its way. Just unfortunately, we didn't get the retest of that level there. But in terms of the bias, the analysis, I'm looking for a move down back into 1.766. That is what I'm looking at. In theory, there might be a setup. Say we break out of the consolidation. Let me just mark the consolidation. Let's say we break out of that range and we do it convincingly. I might entertain the idea of a retest of the low of the range, something like that, and look for some shorts there. If I don't get this opportunity up there, I might look for something like that, depending how the breakout looks. But yeah, that definitely was my number one opportunity. So we'll see how USD gets going, but I'm definitely very bearish on the currency pair. If you guys are joining the stream, by the way, please be sure to drop a like. It does really help out. And of course, make sure you do hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. It does help out. I do appreciate everyone who's done that so far. But let me know what you're looking at for Euro NZD as well. Have you looked at the indices? Yeah, I've gone through some of them. I'll quickly go over them again. I'll have a look at the DAX and the UK 100 as well. What's up, Saki Forex? Welcome to the stream. Good morning. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Hope you're well. Please watch your view on pound USD. Okay, I'll go have a look. See. So, yeah, with pound, I'm pretty bullish on. I'm pretty bullish until we get to the high. So once we get back to the high at 1.326, this high here, then I'm still bullish on the pair because the trend is to the upside. So you can see we're being pretty consistent with the higher highs and higher lows. So that's what is kind of creating that bullish bias for me. The fact that we're trending to the upside with a lot of momentum. So that's why I'm bullish on the market. But once we get back to the high, now it's not a good time to be looking for buys because the market's just created a new high. Now the next move we'll be looking at is a retracement, of course. So yeah, I'm bullish until we get there, and then I'll be expecting the market to put that high in somewhere. Don't know how far we can go, but I'll be looking for the retracement afterwards. There was a nice entry yesterday on pound, which we just went through, which was the retest of this area. Of course, hindsight is a wonderful thing, but we were discussing this yesterday. We were discussing in euro as well. It's just that pound gave the entry and euro didn't. We're looking for the retest here for euro. Didn't quite happen. Pound USD, we did get the retest there. So I think the ship is now sailed there with pound. If you're not already in the position, you don't want to be looking to enter now because, again, this is where we found resistance and this is where we sold off from yesterday. So now is not the time to be looking to buy pound. If anything, sales make sense there, but I'm still bullish until we get back to the high, and then we can probably start talking about some sells as we expect the market to eventually retrace. So yeah, I think the ship has sailed with pound. I think next best bet would wait for price to push up, wait for the news to this evening, maybe price drops, maybe it flies. We'll reanalyze, see where we are. If price is shooting up, then we can start talking about some sells later on in the week. If price is pushing back down, then there might be some buys later on in the week to take it back up again. So it really depends what the news has in store. But I wouldn't touch it now, though, unless you're already in the position. Okay, where were we? I think after the news, we get 25 base points. That's when we might get a proper pullback from the indices. I'm still bullish. Just don't want to chase the markets. I hear that. Again, above everything, you don't want to chase the markets, as you said. There's opportunities galore in the market, so you don't have to worry about chasing things. I'm sure. You could take this whole week off, and there'll still be great opportunities the following week and the week after that, and so on and so forth. So, I think the biggest thing is, have your bias, analyze your markets, know what you want to do, know where you want to buy, where you want to sell, and what your goal is. What move you're looking to take advantage of. Is it the continuation of a trend? Is it the reversal of a trend? Is it range play? Know what you're looking for, and when it comes to then executing that strategy, that bias, that edge, just make sure you're always waiting for the market to come to you. Because if you're always trying to be in the front foot and always trying to chase things, and we've got news today, it might move the market without me, you're never going to be taking quality trades. So always try to make sure that you're trying to act from a place of confidence rather than desperation. Because when it comes back to looking over your trades and you're just seeing a lot of chasing, it's not gonna reflect well on your equity curve. So yeah, try and stay patient. And if you do, pat yourself on the back. The opportunity you're looking for will eventually arise. Just need to make sure you're there to take it. That's all. Jack, what is up? It's going well. Hope you're doing good. Have you gone over USD CAD yet? No, I haven't. I will go and take a look for you. Good morning, John. Welcome to the stream. What's your take on USD JPY? I will go through that for you as well. Pound yen look, 1 hour chart. Okay, let me just go through dollar CAD and dollar yen first. So yeah, dollar CAD, I spoke about this one yesterday. I do have a bearish bias. I'm looking for dollar CAD to drop to the downside. I've spoken about the big range a few times. This is the weekly chart here. You've got the resistance of the range, you've got the support of the range, and the price has just been fluctuating between the high and the low continuously. So I'm now looking for us to push back to the lower end here at 1.323. And to me, it just looks like a pit stop. Price is broken through. We've seen a lot of momentum, bit of retracement. Price is now testing a pretty big level itself. Key resistance here, key support over there as well. And now we're back at the same area. So this to me just looks like a great place to short from. Stops above the high. Only one thing I don't like is that we're just kind of, we're consolidating right now. So price is kind of not sure what it wants to do, but the key takeaway is that we're still holding 1.36 and we're still failing to break above it. So if you can get stop loss above the high, I feel like that would be a great place to put it. Maybe you want to wait for after the news to take the trade though, because who knows, we could see a bit of wild, crazy wicks back and forth this evening, and that could stop out a lot of traders and then see price moving direction. So maybe it's best to wait for after the news, but I'll leave that decision down to you. But the idea is this is what I'll be looking for USD CAD. Shorts around there, stops above the high, targets back at the low at 1.344. So that's very much my outlook there for USD CAD. I'm very bearish on the USD as well, so that plays into that quite nicely. But yeah, I think it's a great place for a short. And the risk reward looks pretty good back into the low as well. So I do not mind the USD CAD shorts. I'll go take a look at dollar yen and then pound yen as well. Still waiting for oil plan. If we get back to the 72 zone, so I guess trade will be Friday probably. Okay, we'll go take a look at oil as well. I think I know the level you're mentioning. But first, let me go through dollar yen. So dollar yen, we did see some nice upside. I think if you're not already in the position, the boat has sailed for yen longs. This was a nice candle closure on the 4 hour yesterday. That would have been my entry signal, but I said I wasn't going to look to take any dollar yen trades because I'm already in Euro USD. I don't want to get into another USD pair going to the Fed interest rate this evening. So I just stayed with my Euro USD position. But if I wasn't in Euro, this would have been the trade setup here and looking for a push, at least back to the upper end of the channel here. First test, second test, looking for the third in that area. So that's the move I'm expecting for dollar yen. I think the yen pairs still have some room to the upside. I'm favoring these yen pairs to push a little bit higher. I'm still long-term bearish, but I do think probably between now and the end of the week, the yen pairs will keep pushing higher. Dollar yen's going to be an interesting one because, of course, USD will be affected. And if USD is bearish and yen's bearish as well, it just means who's the more bearish currency. And that will dictate the direction of USD/JPY. But from a technical point of view, I would be expecting dollar yen to push higher. I'd say the only thing is entries. So unless maybe price comes down again, it's a little bit difficult because you can enter wherever. It's just that your risk reward will be skewed. Could probably still get a nice 1-to-1 back into the high, but you could have done a lot better there. So yeah, that's kind of what I'll be looking at for dollar yen. I'm looking for us to break higher back into maybe the 145 area, and then we can go from there. Maybe we sell off, maybe we break out. We'll discuss that at a later date. But for now, that's the move I'm expecting for dollar yen. And then I'm looking at us finding a little high and coming right back down. So that's very much what I'm after for these yen pairs. Okay, so I'll go through pound yen, then I'll take a look at oil for you as well. Antonio, would I consider Monday's candle a hammer candle on dollar yen? Which one's Monday? Okay, that's Monday. Not really. I would like to see that body be a little bit bigger. Your textbook hammer candle looks something like this. That's a bit more of a textbook hammer candle. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bullish close as well. It could be a bearish close, but you want the body to be a little bit more meaningful. If it closes like it did on Monday, I'd say it's more of a doji. I think, again, because candlesticks, you have the names, you have the patterns, but I think really in terms of candlesticks, you just have to read the candlestick for what it is really. The names are a good introduction into candlesticks in terms of, okay, this is a bullish engulfing, this is a hammer, this is a shooting star, morning star pattern. It's good to know the names, but the key thing you're looking for is just what do the candles represent. For instance, this candle here represents price was very, very bearish at one point, but then flipped all the way bullish and closed above its opening price. So that tells me that price tried to go lower, but failed pretty spectacularly, and now probably going to push higher. In terms of this candle here as well, it says a similar story, but just not as strong as that bullish candle. So we started here, price pushed down, and then eventually closed bearish as well. So it tells me that we're really struggling to push lower as we're leaving the wicks. Not necessarily the strongest close in terms of a blue candle closure, but the fact that we had a big wick to the downside at a meaningful level as well, it tells me that price is struggling to push lower. So the key thing is not it's a hammer, it's a doji, it's a this or that. It's just what do the wicks, what do the bodies tell you? That's kind of where my focus is. Of course, the names are good. It's a good introduction to candlestick patterns, but I would definitely advise in terms of just looking at candlesticks in terms of the wicks and the bodies, because that's really where the meaning is. But yeah, to me, it's just a big wick at a nice level of support, which tells me, okay, price has got a good chance of reversing. I'll take a look at pound yen now. You said pound yen on the hourly. You said pound yen for short buy. Okay, you mean a short-term buy, because short means sell and then buy, like a short buy, but I think you mean a short-term buy. So your target is 186.4. That's about here-ish. Stop loss 186.5. No, that's your entry. Stop loss 186.4. Okay, and you target 188.1. It's up there. So your entry, stop loss, target. I mean, the risk reward looks pretty good in that position. I like it. I do expect pound yen to keep pushing to the upside as well. So I am kind of bullish for the next day or two, at least for pound yen. I do see us pushing higher. I'm not too sure about the stop loss. I mean, I would like my stop loss to be at least below the low there. Of course, that would skew the risk to reward, but for me, it would be a necessary sacrifice because I want to get myself in a sensible place. Because I know if price was to get here, okay, maybe price is going to push down at that point. If my stop loss is somewhere here, I could still very much be triggered out of the position, still see price move my way. Of course, that's the reality with any stop loss, but at least here, price has to work a lot harder to get to my stop loss and then still go in my direction. It's most likely probably not going to go in my direction. So that's the only kind of critique I would say, but the risk reward looks pretty good. And of course, if you've got an edge and that fits your plan well, then of course see the trade through. But yeah, I am pretty bullish on pound yen. I am looking for it to push high so I can short it. So I'm not interested in taking buys, but I do expect price to push higher. Find some shorts, probably tomorrow or Friday or whenever, and then I hopefully can take it to the downside. But I do like pound yen intraday. I think a lot of the yen pairs intraday do look like they can probably see some more upside. So yeah, I do think the buys are the best bet at the moment. I'll go through oil. You said you were looking at 72 for some shorts, and I believe it's kind of this level here you're looking at. So yeah, 71.9 is kind of where I'm looking at, but 72 is roughly the same area. So yeah, I like that as well. I like that in oil as well. I think that's a really nice place for a short. The market's been pretty consistent with all these lower highs here. And now you're kind of seeing if price can put another one in to continue to the downside. There's a lot of momentum at the moment as well with the bears too. So should we see a push higher, there's a good chance the market will topple over and put that next lower high in. So I do like pound yen to the downside. Pound yen. I do like oil to the downside as well. It's just the big if we'll get back to that same level. You're just going to have to wait and see. Sometimes price will get there, sometimes price won't. I spoke about this earlier. Sometimes price will get to your level, sometimes it won't. And you just have to kind of be patient enough to see it through. And when it does get to your level, you want to be there to take the trade. And if it doesn't get to your level, dust yourself off and you move on to the next position. But yeah, it's looking pretty bearish right now. And if it does fall, it does fall. But if it can find support here and turn around, great. I feel like 71.7, 72 looks like a really great place for a short anyway. So I would be looking at a similar setup for you for oil there, to be honest. I like it, but we'll see how it develops because oil might just want to drop a little bit lower there. So if oil is dropping hard right now, that means CAD is going to be a little bit weak. And I think we are seeing that because we had a look at pound CAD. That's looking pretty bullish, but pound is pretty strong as well. Euro CAD's pushing up there. Aussie CAD's really pushing up. New Zealand CAD. So yeah, these CAD pairs have kind of thrown me off a little bit because Aussie CAD I was pretty not Aussie CAD, New Zealand CAD I was pretty bearish on. I was expecting price to hold this level here and then reverse, but it looks like it is actually breaking through. So if that's the case, I'm expecting us to get back to this high now around 0.85. Aussie CAD I haven't been a big fan of, so I haven't really been focusing on analyzing this one in a lot of detail, really, just because the price action isn't really clear to me. I don't know what this one's doing longer term, so I'm just going to stay open-minded, but it definitely looks really bullish at the moment. Pound CAD, that's still breaking higher, and looks like Euro CAD is breaking higher as well. So CAD is definitely weak right now, which is probably the reason why dollar CAD hasn't got going yet. Because if you look at all the other USD pairs, Euro USD has been pretty bullish over the past couple of days. Pound USD likewise, New Zealand dollar likewise, Aussie dollar likewise as well. Even gold and silver, but USD CAD's still stuck at that same area because CAD's pretty weak. But I do expect us to catch up. So if you're looking at dollar CAD, I think short's still the best bet. It's just, can we break out the consolidation and can we break out to the downside? And also, will we have any fake outs to the upside before we get the breakout? Possibly. And again, the thing about a fake out as well before the move, it's not the worst thing in the world. A lot of people are very kind of apprehensive about that, putting their stops, below and above support resistance because they might get stopped out, they might get faked out. In terms of getting stopped out or faked out, it's not the worst thing in the world because if you do, you can always just re-enter. If you're in the right direction, you're in the right direction. If the market is going to move down, it's going to move down. Sure, it might stop you out before, but if you manage your risk well, say you risk 1% on a trade, you lose that 1%, and then you re-enter, and if it plays out to a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 or beyond, you make back the loss plus some more. So it's always logical to always look for the re-entry if you do get wicked out, and it's not the end of the world if you do as well. Certainly if you have a positive risk reward. But I don't know, with the Fed, there's a chance you get slipped too. But in most cases, getting wicked out is not as bad as it seems. But yeah, I'm definitely very bearish on USD. So I'm expecting USD CAD to go lower. Even USD CHF seen some nice downside. Jack, is there room for USD CAD to move to the downside if all the other CAD crosses are fairly bullish? Good question. It just depends on USD really, because if USD is going to be weaker than CAD, then of course USD CAD will fall. But USD has to be pretty weak because CAD is pretty weak today. I think it's probably one of the weakest currencies, if not the weakest. Yeah, it probably might be the weakest currency right now, CAD. So for USD CAD to fall, USD has to be weak in the CAD. And at the moment, it's USD is pretty weak, but not that weak. So for USD CAD to start dropping like this, it probably will take the Fed interest rate to really get things going. It'll take a catalyst like that for USD to become that weak, and maybe CAD and oil to stop probably falling so hard as well for CAD to gain some strength. But yeah, you're right. If the CAD pairs are pushing up like that, it always will be difficult to sell USD CAD. But the thing about currency strength, it can change very, very quickly. So right now, the CAD pairs are flying, but then we could be speaking tomorrow and CAD pairs look pretty bearish. And then USD CAD is melting out the sky as well. So things can change very quickly. Of course, at the moment, it looks a bit unrealistic to see USD CAD fall with CAD pairs pushing up so hard. And that's why we're kind of getting USD CAD consolidating. But then once this consolidation breaks out, then things are looking very bearish for USD, maybe a little bit bullish for CAD. and we're getting the move. So my answer to that is there is definitely room, but things will change in order for USD CAD to fall. And that change can happen very, very quickly. So if you're going to wait for CAD to lose its strength and USD to be weak, we'd probably already be breaking out to the downside by then, and maybe you've already missed the move. So I would say if you can find an entry, take the trade, take the entry, stop above the high. If it does fail, it does fail, of course, as long as, it's a smart trade to take. If it's the plan well, it ticks all your boxes, then that's the most important thing at the end of the day. But when we're moving like this, it's going to take a quick change of things, quick change of events for USD CAD to be falling. Like we had with gold here. Gold was very, very sideways, and suddenly, boom, it breaks out. Now it's looking so bullish. So, dollar CAD will probably do the same thing, whether up or down. It will consolidate, and then boom, it will make its move. But yeah, pound CAD, Euro CAD, all those CAD pairs are looking pretty bullish. But at some point, they will hit top, and they'll probably start coming back down again. And that's maybe when CAD does break out. But then you look at all the other USD pairs, and all the other USD pairs are pushing pretty hard. New Zealand dollar is trying to break above that resistance there. It's looking really strong. Aussie dollar is looking pretty strong right now. It's coming back into a big level, but it's looking strong at the moment. Euro is trying to push higher. Pound is doing a pretty good job. You see CHF is falling pretty hard as well. So USD is pretty weak across most currencies, just not CAD really. Maybe not dollar yen as well, but it's doing a pretty good job at driving lower. We can have a quick look at the DXY as well. As we can see, looking pretty bearish as we come into that low. If we break through, and I do think USD CAD will probably break as well. Got the first fall of USD CAD. Okay, just been sat waiting for it to get back again. Yeah, I mean, I would just wait for that, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, you probably might even want to wait for the news to happen and then look to see, what opportunities you can find afterwards. Because if you're going to be waiting to get back in, I got a feeling that dollar CAD probably will continue this consolidation until the news today. Maybe it might push down a little bit, maybe hit support, push back up again, but it's not going to do anything crazy until the news probably. So if you get in now, you're effectively saying that you're expecting price to break out the range to the downside. So stops above the high makes sense. If you're waiting for the news to happen, then you might be looking at an entry like this. Maybe we break lower, and then you're probably hoping for a retest maybe tomorrow or some point this week to find some entries down on the retest of the level. That could be what you're looking for if you're waiting for after the news. But today we do have some building permits for USD at 130. We'll see how that affects price. Of course, the main thing we're looking at is the Fed interest rate at 7. So yeah, if you're waiting for the news, you're probably looking to take entries tomorrow on a retest. And also keep an eye on the press conference as well. That would definitely cause a lot of friction. But yeah, I would have looked to enter dollar yen, but I decided let me just stick with one USD pair for now. Because I can't remember the last Fed interest rate. I can't remember if it moved a lot. I don't think it did. But this is different because rates are cutting. I don't think rates didn't cut last time. So this is a new type of interest rate which we haven't seen for a while. So yeah, I'm not gonna try and be too overly confident, jump into two USD pairs and think everyone go swimmingly, because yeah, it definitely might not. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with the news. Again, there's no other currency pair which I'm looking to enter now anyway. I'm getting ready for CHF JPY sells. I'm looking for a lot of downside in this currency pair. I really like the big push down we had a couple of months ago. Nice correction there. Nice push down as well. Now I'm looking at another correction, another push down. So I'm getting ready for something like that for CHF JPY, which could come around pretty soon. I'm pretty much looking at that kind of opportunity across the board for the yen pair. So Aussie yen, I'm looking for something like that for a move down. Dollar yen, I'm looking for something like that, but first I need to see a bit more upside. Euro yen, likewise as well. A bit more upside, then get the sell. New Zealand yen, not so much this one, but I do expect us to do the same thing. Pound yen, we're not too far away from 189. That's what I'm looking for price to get into. And then again, a big sell. CAD yen likewise as well. Maybe the retest of that area and sell. So I'm going to keep an eye on these yen pairs because all I need is one to take the trade and get short. But at the moment, I think I prefer CHF JPY the best. Just need to see if I can find an entry. Hey, what's up, Ben? Welcome to the stream. It is going well. Hope everything is good with you. Welcome. Pound yen seems to me the best opportunity at the moment. Okay, looking to buy pound yen, sell pound yen, let me know. As I said, I'm still looking for these sales in pound yen, but I need price to come a little bit higher first before I do anticipate some sells, and then I'll see what we can get afterwards. But yeah, we had a nice breakout yesterday. Things are looking somewhat bullish, and I'm looking for that to continue a little bit further, and hopefully I can look at some sells Thursday, Friday. Well, today's already Wednesday. Yeah, Thursday, Friday, if not early next week. But this is the move I'm really after. If GA can break above 1.951, it's time to put some bullish PA. Looks right, belongs back to the highs. What do you think? Okay, I'll go through GA. Oh, sell for sure. Just waiting for a bit. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm looking for the same thing as well. For GJ, I mean, I think we are. I'm looking for that big swing to the downside. Let me know if you're looking for something intraday or something different. But that is definitely the move I'm after for GJ. In terms of GA, I was actually expecting price to push up this week, but I was hoping for price to stay above this level. So now that price is broken through, it's made it a little bit awkward for me because I was expecting us to hold this high here. So it was lovely resistance over there. Nice resistance not long ago. I was looking for that to hold a support and simply, continue to the upside from then onwards. But price had a pretty bearish candle yesterday and it broke underneath. So now to me, that's a little bit of a red flag. I'm still kind of looking for the same move back to the high there because the main thing with pound Aussie is that we're still pretty consistent for all these higher lows. So we've got the low over here, higher low there, got the double bottom higher low, got another higher low there as well. So I'm kind of looking at that continuing. As long as we don't go and break through this point here, as long as we don't do that, I am looking at the higher lows continuing and a push to the high, which is around 1.99, which is where I think you're looking to target with your buys. So I like the opportunity there with pound Aussie. In terms of a trade, I was very much looking to buy on top of this level this week and see if I can take it higher from that area. But now that it's broken through, it might mean that pound Aussie comes a little bit deeper before the buy. And I don't mind looking to buy from here as well. As I said, as long as price doesn't break through this low, I'm still bullish on pound Aussie. You're looking for us to get back above 1.951, which is this kind of low here. So yeah, if it does get above that and things look interesting again, I may entertain some buys there too. Yeah, I wasn't expecting us to break below that. So now that we have, I'm kind of interested in this setup now, buying back at this low and seeing if I can find some stops below that. And again, target, well, not necessarily target the high there. We seeing how far I can take it, but at least back to this 1.95 level. And if you can break through, fantastic. We'll see how far we can go. But yeah, the higher lows are still intact in the daily time frame, which is the most important thing. That's what gives me my direction, gives me my bias. But yeah, my first level has broken. So now I'm looking at the second area. Unless we get back above, which is, of course, what you're referring to, I'm pretty sure. And then we can take some buys there. But yeah, pound has been pretty strong, but not really against the Aussie. Because I had a look at some pound pairs this morning. Pound USD flying high, pound CAD flying high, Euro pound falling, I'm pretty sure, yeah, pretty aggressively. Pound CHF not flying high, but somewhat bullish. Looking at pound Aussie, somewhat bullish to a degree, but it's having trouble. So that tells me that Aussie's pretty strong as well. And yeah, it is pushing pretty hard. Is anyone trading any USD pairs going into the news today? Okay, Nazar, just £1 entity would suffice. I can see your messages. I know sometimes I do forget, but you don't need to do it 20 times. Let me know what your actual bias is with pound entity. If you're looking for a trade or you want to see my analysis. But of course, pound Aussie is a similar chart to pound NZD. But this one has been a bit more choppy, I would say. Has been a bit more choppy. I've marked out a couple of areas where we're looking to buy and sell, or where I would rather buy and sell. I'm not necessarily looking to trade pound NZD, but if I'm looking to buy it, I definitely want price to be back down at this low. If I'm looking to sell it, I want price to be up at this high here, because this is where we had our swing high, which gave us the move down there. So that's where I want price to be trading before I do take any sales, or at least look for any sell opportunities. And if I'm looking to buy, there's a massive level here of resistance here on the daily chart, which I'm looking for us to hold as support. And that in turn could be a great place for some entries to take it higher. So for pound NZ, that's kind of what I'll be looking at. For pound NZ on the 1 hour, it looks absolutely horrendous. I was about to say heretic. Yeah, I was mixing horrendous and hectic there together. Yeah, it looks horrendous. I mean, yesterday I did touch on it. I said if you're really looking to trade pound NZD, buying low and selling high makes the makes the most sense to me, because price is ranging right now. So if I was looking to trade it, if I had to trade it, then I'll probably be looking at some buys around this area here, stops below, see if I can take advantage of a swing back to the high. I feel like that's the most logical trade you could probably find there with pound NZD, given the conditions of the market. Not moving well at all, very, very choppy, not seeing much momentum, but because we are ranging, we'll find support pretty well here. That buy makes some sense to me. And yeah, I would target the high there. But other than that, I would stay far away from pound NZD, at least until we start coming back into some of these areas. In here, looks very difficult. Jack going into long pound USD about 9 last night. Oh, okay. Is that the UK time, Jack? I assume so. Yeah, interesting time to enter a pound USD trade, but yeah, it is going pretty well. Pound has been pretty bullish this morning, so Yeah, looking well. Do you have any particular targets for that pound USD trade? Ben, I went short you yesterday after the news round, tripped the profit this morning though. Lucky I moved stops to break even, being lazy and wasn't going to do it, thinking price never moves before FMC. Well, the time you think price is not going to move before FMC, it does. But yeah, it was a nice move down for pound. USD was a bit strong, and pound was pretty weak yesterday because euro didn't really move that much. Um, yeah, euro didn't move that much. It had a little bit of downside, but pound really did tank, and now it's looking really bullish as well too. So um, yeah, pound was definitely moving before FOMC. But luckily you did though. Luckily you did. Saved you from a unnecessary drawdown. I think it's good we had some pound news this morning though. I think inflation rate or something like that with pound. Okay, moves stop was the break even, not right with the news. Okay. Okay. Potential reversal on crude oil. Are you looking for a longer term reversal, like a bullish reversal? Or is it intraday reversal? I wanted to hold it into FMC and gamble the news pumping the dollar and catching a pretty big win, but it is what it is. 100%. I mean, that's literally what I'm doing with my Euro USD trade, to be honest. I mean, of course, I've got my analysis and what I'm expecting price to do, but I'm holding it through the news, and I'm kind of hoping the news will be in my favor. Um, but we'll see. Worst case scenario, I get trailed out break even down here. Best case scenario, price is pumping my favor. That trail stops, and I look like a hero. But we'll see this afternoon. Okay, would be 8 UK time. Okay, so where are you based, Jack? If you don't mind me asking, I'm just very interested to see where people are from all over the globe. Okay, we'll have a good one, my man. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow after the fireworks. Um, Ben, have I taken partial in the Euro trade? No, I have not, my friend. No, I have not. I'm still full skin in the game. No partials. The break even is trailed, so the risk is gone, but I'm still full size. Which maybe a slightly bold thing to do. I mean, anyone will tell you take partials before the news. But I'm just trying to follow my plan at this point in time. I'm not trying to try and do anything fancy. I'm not looking to take partials. I'm looking just to trail and let the trail stop loss take me out of the trade. Because the idea is if I'm in the right direction and price goes for me, I want to try and hold as much of my position, pretty much all of my position for as long as possible. So when I do hit those big winners, they are the big winners, and I'm not just trading stops with 20% of my original position size, because the whole idea of the trading stop loss is to maximize those winners and really take advantage of them. So I'm still full sizing. Like I said, the risk is break even, so the downside is managed, but the upside is there. If price wants to look after me today. What's up? Is it Ryan? I forget. RH Knight. I remember you told me your name. I think it was it Ryan. I think it was. Been away on a business trip. Still am. No problem. So I've got to keep my head down on the company. How are things with me? Not bad. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Holding some longs in euro. I'm doing good. Hope you're well. But yeah, I don't want to get you in trouble on your business trip. Make sure you got your headphones in, plugged in all the way. Okay, another person from Spain as well. We've got a few people from Spain coming onto the stream. Whereabouts in Spain? Ben, now you got to hold on to that and hope FMC sends it. Yeah, that is the plan. That's the plan. I'm hoping that FMC push in my favor. I mean, I was done dirty by NFP, to be honest. I was holding onto an Aussie dollar trade with NFP. It went in my direction originally. It looked good. And then a couple of hours later, everything turned around. So we'll see what happens. At least this time, the risk is off the table. So if things don't go my way, I'll get stopped out break even. Move on to the next trade. Move on to the next trade. It's a bit of a gamble, but I think if you're well positioned going to FMC, NFP CPI is worth holding on. The R is very good because it in your favor. Very of course, of course. I think as long as you're not kind of full leveraged and you manage your risk and you don't have like a 5 pip stop loss as well, and price is trading right at your entry, then it's not a good thing. It's not a good place to be because of slippage. In this case, I could still be slipped. It depends how hard price falls. I could still be slipped, but it's not anything crazy. It's not anything crazy if I do get slipped. So the risk is managed and the upside is there. And of course, as a trader, that's my job. Manage the risk, and capitalize on my upside. This is me capitalizing on my upside. So if it is my favorite, great. Whoop-de-doo. If not, we'll move on to the next one. Live from Paris, wicked. That's another place that I need to come visit. Actually, yeah. I was thinking if I have been to Paris before, but it wasn't Paris. It was somewhere else in France. Can't even remember where. It was a long time ago. But yeah, Paris is another place that I need to go and visit. Morocco as well. Big up for Morocco. Whereabouts? Marrakesh, Casablanca. I think there's only 2 places I know, to be honest. Okay, South Spain. Yeah, I've been to South Spain a few times. No, a few times. Only once, actually. Have you got any tips on trading stops? Good question. Tips on trading stops. I would say if you're starting out with trading stops, keep things systematic. So I would say look at trading like for every R in profit. So if you're like, let's say you're floating 2R, you trade stop loss to 1R. If you're floating 3R, you trade stop loss to 2R. You're trading 4R, so on and so forth. I feel like that's the best way to go with trading stops in the beginning because you want it to be systematic. You want it to be something you don't have to think about too much, because the thing with trading stops is that you'll see price go in your favor and then potentially stop you out and then go in your favor some more. That will be a scenario which will happen. Of course, trading stops are not perfect. This will happen. But if you can be methodical and systematic, that means, this will happen sometimes, but sometimes you'll get some big winners as well. And you're not really thinking about it too much. You're not emotional. Because what some people do is with trading stops is that they'll get a bit too emotional about their floating profits, and they'll just trail immediately, trail too closely. There we go. Trail too closely, trail immediately, and not give the trade room it needs to breathe, because they're too scared of giving back profits. So that's the main kind of hiccup people go through with trading stops, is that they're way too aggressive, way too early with it. You need to give it time, you need to give it room to breathe. So my biggest tip would just be systematic in terms of use your risk to reward. So if you're 2R in profit, 1R trail stop, so on and so forth. Maybe you can give yourself 2R if you want to be even more aggressive, and give your trade even more room. I think 1R is enough to start, and then you can see how that goes, and you can play with that if you want. What's up? Sitembiso. Hope I'm saying your name correctly. Hope you're good. Taking £, yen, and Aussie dollar will go through, no problem. Seems like a reasonable plan. Normally I try The trail stops below any sort of structure that has been made. Yeah, a lot of people talk about that as well. And that's kind of how I do my trading stop loss now. But I would say the only thing about trading underneath structure is that you want to be a little bit flexible with it, because sometimes it doesn't make sense to trail underneath some structure that price will form because it's a very weak low, or the low might be very far away, because sometimes you get some impulsive moves, right? It's such a big move, and the nearest structure, nearest point might be down here, which is great because you're giving price all this room it needs to potentially continue in your favor. But sometimes it doesn't make some sense in some situations as well. So I think structure is good as well. I would say, of course, it's a little bit more hands-on than using RR, because that's just very, very simple and just very methodical. But I would say sometimes you have to use your discretion to say, okay, I'm going to push it a little bit further, or I'm going to take it, or give it a bit more room. But I think structure is a good way to look at it as well. Morning, Lauder. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Welcome, welcome. Might be best to go back to basics and refine my plan. Yeah, I think keep things simple. You don't want to refine your plan too quickly, too early. Give your plan the time it needs to really be tested. Yeah, give it the time it needs to be tested. I'd say 100 trades is a good ballpark to start refining, because 100 you kind of get the estimation of the effectiveness of your plan. I think 20 trades, 30 trades, 40 trades, 50 trades, of course, the more the better, but you can have a really good 20 trades, then the next 20 might be not so good. So you don't want to judge on 20 or 30 or 40 or 50. Of course, the same for 100. This 100 might be good, next 100 might not be so good, but 100, it's more truer. It's like if you flip a coin, a double-sided coin with heads and tails, you flip it 10 times, you might get 7 heads and 3 tails. But if you flip 100, it'll be more close to that 50-50 mark. So it'll give you the truer edge, the truer results of your plan. So one mistake I made was refining my plan too much and too frequently, to an extent where I didn't really have a plan. I was just constantly changing every week. So yeah, give it the time it needs to really be implemented. And then once you've given it a good amount of time, then you can see where the weaknesses are, where the strengths are, and then you kind of tweak and refine then. But yeah, going back to basics is never a bad idea. What's up, Nadine? Long time viewer, wicked. Yes, I do remember Saddam. Please share one clean pair or trade for passing challenge. I watch your analysis on JPY pair for bullish, but now more bearish. Confused what that means, to be honest. But yeah, I don't think I can give you. I mean, I probably could, to be fair, if you manage it correctly. A trade for passing a challenge. I would say the next big swing position I'm looking at would be shorting some of these yen pairs. In particular, I like Swiss yen, but it could be any of them. It could be pound yen. The idea is I'm looking for a swing like that. And of course, if you position yourself correctly, you could easily be looking at a nice 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 7, maybe even a lot more as well. So something like that could be a trade to pass your challenge if it's managed correctly, of course. But I would never really advise going into that mentality that, okay, this trade is going to pass me the challenge. It could do, and it also could very much not. It could very much hit your stop loss as well. So if you want to make sure that you're passing challenge in one trade, you need to make sure that you give that trade the room it needs to continue going in your favor. But of course, it very much could go back against you, stop you at a break even or a loss or whatever. So I wouldn't have that kind of mindset. I'm going to pass it one trade. You could do, but this is a position that I'm looking at as the next big swing, which hopefully could give some really nice downside opportunity. So that's kind of what I'll be looking at. But yeah, I wouldn't get too optimistic about you passing in one trade. If you do, great. If you don't, yeah, great as well. There's no love lost. But yeah, that's kind of what I'll be looking at for pound yen. We've seen some nice upsides, and I'm looking for a big short. Okay, it's Ryan. Good memory, Miko. Done well. Oh, company's computer. Okay. It didn't let me up much. Well, let's hope that no one from your company is on the stream as well and seeing you call them bastards, because I don't think that'll get you any browning points with them. So let's hope no one else is on the stream too. Okay, I will go take a look at pound yen and euro Aussie and Aussie dollar. I believe some pairs were requested, which I haven't gone through yet, so I will take a look. Okay, so yeah, with Aussie dollar, I'll go through that one first. So yeah, Aussie dollar looking extremely bullish right now. Looking extremely bullish right now as we approach that high. So I touched on this one yesterday. I'm pretty bullish on Aussie dollar. I'm pretty bearish on USD. I still do see Aussie dollar pushing a lot higher. In fact, I expect Aussie dollar to make its way back to the high here at 0.685. So that's where I do see Aussie dollar making its way towards. But it's, of course, got an obstacle in its way right now. So there could be some temporary shorts at the moment if we can start to reject this level here. I feel like it's probably best to wait till after the news anyway, because even if we do start rejecting this level here, it probably will take us into the late afternoon. Then you got like an hour or two left before the news happens. So probably best just to wait for after the news anyway. All right, no problem, Jack. Have a good day, my man. Take care. So I would wait for the news anyway to happen, because great, we might throw some wicks here, we might look like prices are reversing, but then again, by that time, the news will be out pretty soon. So you probably want to wait till afterwards, and then probably want to wait till tomorrow morning, London session. But it's in a nice place for a short. Should we see the necessary price action here, and could be taking some sales back down again, because the way Aussie dollar has been moving, it's just been moving from one level to another, up and down, up and down. There hasn't really been a trend with the market, as we can see here. So if we get back at resistance again, see some good rejection, that to me looks like a good opportunity for a short and a good chance for a move down. I'd also keep an eye on this area here as well. That could be a nice first target to look at, around 0.67. But yeah, if you're looking to trade Aussie dollar, I think sell's the best bet. Like I said, I do actually think we'll break through eventually, but we might push down first and then get the break. So you can look to profit on this move, and then we can discuss some buys later on. Of course, now's not the time to be looking to buy Aussie dollar. If you want to be buying Aussie dollar, you should already be in the position, or at least waiting for price to retrace. In terms of Euro Aussie, then I'll take a look at pound yen. In terms of Euro Aussie, haven't looked at this pair yet. So Euro Aussie looking pretty bearish. That tells me that Aussie is pretty strong right now. So it looks like we're seeing Euro Aussie tank as well as pound Aussie as well. So yeah, with Euro Aussie, I think we're probably going to keep pushing back to the low, which is this swing here, because we had a nice rejection at the high, big rejection there, another one there as well. I do think we'll probably keep falling. To be honest, I was expecting us to go a little bit higher, back to this area here roughly before the sell, but looks like we're just tanking off right now. So with Euro Aussie, in terms of some entries, that's the difficult thing. Because essentially we came back into the high here, respected it, and now we're back selling off again. So in terms of another place for an entry, I wouldn't look at the break and retest here just yet. If we can sell off a little bit further, then that would look good to me. Something like that. Excuse me. That will look pretty nice, but we need to sell off a little bit further. Then we can target this low here. If not, then maybe a sell back at the high here, or even the high there as well. Effectively, we're looking for a lower high. Just seeing where that could next print. So I would say shorts around 0.646 look good. I would wait for price to push down a little bit further, but the idea would be looking for breaking retest on that low and then see if I can take it back to this low here. If we do go through a slightly deeper pullback, then there are some areas up there which do look good for a short as well. As we push back into that prior lower high, which is giving us this move back into that same area and short. But this is where I would expect Euro Aussie to end up at now that we're clearing support. So yeah, Euro Aussie to me, I would be pretty bearish. I think you are okay. You're holding a sell. Was at 1.64517, target 5.9. Damn, target 5.9. Where is 5.9? 5.9 is all the way down there. That's a pretty big move there in Keva. That is a pretty big move. How many pips is that? You said you're short from 1.645. It's roughly around there. That's a 500 pip move. That's a pretty big move there. But yeah, I think for now, there's a good chance price will get here. In terms of 1.59, there's definitely a few obstacles in our way. I do think we'll eventually get there to 1.59, but I mean eventually as in long term, because I actually am looking at something like this for Euro Aussie on the higher time frames. But there is a lot of obstacles that we have to clear first. So I won't speak too much about 1.59 for now. But yeah, I do like the shorts. I do like the shorts for Euro Aussie. Last week the trend shifted, but it turned more bearish. Okay. I think I understand what you mean, because we did turn around, didn't we? We had a big sell-off. You're talking about this move here. I'll go through pound yen, and then I'll take a look at USD JPY as well. Manzondi, have you ever taken a look at CAD yen by chance? I haven't looked at it today, but I can go have a look at it for you. Pound CAD on weekly resistance as well. Please have a look. Okay, looking to sell pound CAD. Nadine? Let me go through pound yen and dollar yen first. So in terms of pound yen, and I'll take a look at CAD yen as well. So in terms of pound yen, I've gone through this a couple of times. I'm looking for the sells. I just need price to push up a little bit higher. Then I'll be interested in taking those shorts. 189 is kind of where I'm looking to first get involved. The key thing for me is price stays below this swing point here. As long as we stay below that, I'm looking to short. If we start breaking through, that's a sign that maybe we aren't going to sell off. So that's really the key marker for me. And this will be my first area of interest. If that fails, I'll look a little bit higher up. As long as we stay below, I'll be looking for that sign of reversal. And my targets are back down at 180, 179. This massive level of support on the daily chart is where I do see pound yen moving towards. In terms of dollar yen, I'm looking for a similar move. I am expecting price to push up and then push down. I think longer term, there's a lot of room to the downside for dollar yen to fall into. But at the moment, if I just get rid of my drawings, you can see price is trading at a really big level of support right now. This low gave us this massive move to the upside, and now we're back trading at that same area. So this is not the time to be looking to sell. If anything, it's a great time to be looking to buy. So I am expecting a bit of a pop to the upside for dollar yen, a lower high at some point, maybe as we approach this low here around 147, sorry, and then possibly the big sell. So for dollar yen, now that we're back at this area, I'm anticipating some upside. But I would say the ship may have already sailed, trains that already left the station. You want to be in the trade earlier down here, not entering up here. I mean, you can do, just that your risk reward will be skewed and you have a bigger stop loss, and the target will have to be bigger to make the same amount of money. So it will be skewed from that point of view. But I do expect dollar yen to push high. Now, of course, the Fed will have a big say in this, but from a technical standpoint, I do envision some more upside for dollar yen, and then the lower high at some point as well. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. For CAD Yen, it's a similar situation too. I do expect us to eventually come back to 100, 101. This is the area I'm looking for us to come into. It looks like price is respecting 105 pretty well. But again, I'm looking for a bigger pullback than that. I think this is a nice level here around 106, just above 106. I think a retest of that would be a nice place for a short. Entries in that area. Of course, waiting for signs of reversal, not just entering straight away. But then something like that is what I would be after. So again, it's essentially the same move with these yen pairs, looking at a bit of retracement, looking at that lower high, and then trying to take advantage of those shorts. That is very much what I'm after. Let me know what you're looking at for those yen pairs as well. Okay, I'll have a look at pound CAD next. Pound USD on a resistance. Would you reckon of a little pullback? Okay, I'll go take a look at pound USD as well. I think I know the level you're referring to. But for pound CAD, you're coming into weekly resistance. The way I'm looking at pound CAD right now is that from a monthly point of view, we had a big level here, which price looks like it's breaking through. The next level I'm looking at is this point up here. So we've got resistance just below us, which looks like price is breaking through that. Then we've got some resistance just above us here around 1.81, 1.82. So I'm looking for us to make a move into that level now. Because it looks like on the daily chart, we've broken through and price is looking very, very bullish. So if that's the case, we're probably going to push back to the high there. And then maybe from this point, we're going to get that big sell because I think we are long overdue a big move down for pound CAD. It's just about which level it will be from. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for pound CAD. So we are approaching some resistance, but we've got a bit of a way to go in my book until we get there. I think this is a nice buying opportunity, nice bullish opportunity there. Not too sure if we'll actually get the retest though. It looks like we missed that boat. But if it was to come back down again, that looks like a nice place for a buy. And then I'll expect price to continue higher. And hopefully trade back into that area. And then once we're there, we can look for some signs of reversal and discuss some shorts at a later date. But for now, I do expect to see pound CAD push a little bit higher. At least for now, anyway. I'll go take a look at pound USD. Some of us in straight jackets and gagged. Wow, that's a crazy depiction there. Room is large, no windows, full of evil. Damn. That sounds rough, Ryan. That sounds pretty rough, my man. Yeah. That sounds pretty rough. They better be paying you well. That's all I can say, mate. They better be paying you well for whatever it is that you're going through on this business trip, because that sounds like it's from a movie. They better be paying you well. Lauder, GJ will show its hand even better tomorrow as we get the right decision. I agree. I think we even got. I think are you referring to the inflation rate for yen? Because I completely forgot all about that. Yeah, we got. Okay, that's on Friday. There's inflation for yen as well on Friday, early morning, early hours of Friday. Inflation is supposed to go up from 2.8 to 3% for yen. But of course, the Fed interest rate this evening, of course, will affect pound yen as well, affect pretty much all currencies, major and minor as well. So we will see movement across the board. But I think inflation rate for yen is definitely something to keep an eye on because that will affect yen massively too. But yeah, I mean, my technical bias is already set in stone, really. I've got the levels I'm looking at. I've got the areas which I'm looking at in terms of, okay, if price was to break through this, that would invalidate my bias. Then I have to reanalyze and go again. I've already got those things kind of set in stone. So in terms of pound yen, I know exactly what I'm looking for. If price gives me that, great, I'll take the trade. If not, then I'm looking at other pairs, of course. But yeah, I'll be definitely interested to see what the news does today with the yen pairs because these guys will be moving as well. And if it does push it up, that's actually kind of what I'm looking for. I hope the yen pairs do push up this evening because that will speed up the trades for my sells at a later date. And hopefully I can take some shorts not long afterwards. Some point this week would be nice. And yes, we do have the pound rates tomorrow as well. That is definitely something to keep a close eye on as well. I think rates are expected to stay the same for pound. What's up, JJ? Welcome to the stream. Mate, to you live for the first time. Wicked. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing good. Do you stay in the States by any chance? You from the States? Because I'm pretty sure it'll be very, very early over there. Ben, Bank of Japan hiking rates at the same time as the Fed is cutting 25, looking like UJ shorts all year. To be fair, the high time frames do favor that as well. The high time frames do favor that as well. So I think if you look at the monthly chart for like all of these yen pairs, they do look like they've got a lot of room to fall. You know, they had really big moves up. This is CAD yen, for example. I'll go take a look at dollar yen, but you can see where we're trading. We're coming into these areas where we're putting these major highs. And this is kind of another area where that another major high could from. So I do expect us to see a big move to the downside in the next coming months. And that could be throughout 2025. That's CAD yen for you. Dollar yen, we're in an area as well where I do think we'll start to see a big sell off. Coming back into this major high here on the left, I do think we'll probably have a big move down. I've marked out this area. I've marked out this area here on the left around 124.5. I think there's a good chance price can come back and retest that. So yeah, I do see a lot of downside for these yen pairs because they've been flying for the past couple of years. And we could see all of that bullish price action kind of be erased in the next kind of year potentially. Because we do come down harder than when we do move up. You can see we do take our time in these up moves. The down moves are pretty quick. So it could be a big 2025 for the yen. So I'm excited for that. Not much signals in the Telegram. Yeah, I've been very, very busy with elevating traders at the moment. So my trading has taken a back seat, unfortunately. So I have not been sharing as much on the Telegram, and I have not been trading as much on my end as well. So yeah, my trading has taken a back seat until I do get elevating traders up and running. Hopefully, close to the end of September, maybe early October, I can start picking up trading a bit more actively again when elevating traders is up and running. But a lot of my time is to do with that at the moment. So once that is live and up and running, things are looking good, then I can be more active with my trading again. Oh, no way. In NYC now. Jeez. Okay, ID, but recently added your Telegram. Nice. Yeah, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. It must be, what's the time in New York now? It must be, I have no idea what, like 6 a.m. maybe, 5 a.m. maybe. I think New York's what, 8 hours behind or 7 hours behind? We be live from the news, not for the Fed interest rate, unfortunately, Manzondi. Maybe I start look to cover the Fed interest rate. At the moment, I just do the NFP, but maybe I might start doing the Fed in the future. Time to retrace the whole 2 years bull market. Yeah, I think that's a logical expectation, really. I think that could be done, and that could be done in half the time as well, because these yen pairs, they do fall pretty hard. If you go through all of the yen pairs and look at all the monthly price action, they do take their time on the way up, but they come down so hard. You can see here, look at that. We took a lot of time going up there, and price just had none of it. I think this was 2008, so maybe that's a bit skewed, but you can see there again, there as well, there again. And this is just a random pair. If I go to pound yen, I mean, we just looked at pound yen. If I go to euro yen, for example, you can see big moves here, big moves there as well. Of course, they're big moves going up, but we do take a little bit longer. So if these yen pairs really decide they want to fall, they're going to fall. And I think we are going to be fair, because I'm looking at the higher time frames and we're trading at areas where I do expect these reversals to come into play. So I do expect to see something like that in the coming months. Of course, none of us are going to be looking to hold trades for that many months. But if you're a swing trader, even a day trader, but especially if you're a swing trader, you know that if you do see some meaningful upside, you're looking to catch these shorts here. You're looking to try and anticipate those lower highs and just capitalize on the downside. Of course, you won't be right all the time. You'll take stop losses. You'll be wrong sometimes, of course. But the idea is that, okay, if the direction is down longer term, then any up move is probably just a short-term move for the market to go down. Just like what the yen pairs have been doing to the upside for the past couple of years, any move down has just always been temporary for the market to push up. So you're trying to find those bottoms, you're trying to find those higher lows and take those trades. As I said, you won't catch every one. You'll be wrong sometimes, but if you have that positive risk reward, you should walk out profitable, over the long run. So that's kind of what I'll be looking to do with these yen pairs. And at the moment, we're seeing some upside, and I'm getting ready for some shorts. Okay, Bitcoin, Antonio, we'll have a look. See, no problem. Yeah, it does well during recessions as well, so that could add more fuel to the fire. True. US, UK have and Europe have recessions next year. That's very, very true as well. That is very, very true. Yen and CHF too could see some upside. That's where the sellers last show momentum, so most likely a push to the downside and a return. I agree. 6:48 a.m. Nice, up early. Early bird gets the worm. But yeah, I mean, there's a few people from the States that do turn up to the streams, but of course, it's just very, very early for them. So, I don't expect much. I mean, I think I had someone on the stream at like 5 a.m. or something like that, or like 4 a.m. or something like that from the States. So, yeah, fair play to you guys, because I don't get up that early either. So I've got to tip my hat where credit is due. That's how it goes. I was about to say, tip my hat where my hat is due. So yeah, kudos to you guys for tuning in. Okay, I'll go have a look. I was supposed to have a look at oil a while ago. I'll go through oil and I'll go through Bitcoin as well. Where could it be? Answer Zurich, Switzerland. Where is that? Where you are? I grin and bear. What the heck? The pay is good. Yeah, I think yeah. As long as the pay is good, you can sit for all of that stuff, I guess. But yeah, it doesn't sound great, but as long as the pay is good at the end of the day. But is it a business trip to Zurich? That's not such a bad business trip. I wouldn't mind a trip to Zurich. Okay, let me go through from Bitcoin. So yeah, Bitcoin, we had a nice bounce. When was this? Last week, Thursday. So I'm not fully confident with Bitcoin that we're about to eventually get the breakout, because I feel like if Bitcoin was going to get that breakout, we probably would have had it by now. So I'm actually expecting us to put another lower high in and actually come back down. I wouldn't trade that. As I've been saying, I'm not going to look to trade in the middle of this channel. If I'm looking to trade Bitcoin, I'm going to try and pick the lows here. That will be my goal, or pick the highs. That way I can get some nice stop losses and really maximize my risk reward as well. Because all we've been doing is bouncing from the high to the low. Trading in the middle is always going to be a difficult prospect. But if we come back to the low, there could be some nice buys there again. As I said, I don't think we'll see a push back to the high, because the last time we had a push off the low, price got about 3/4 of the way and then fell. So now I'm expecting price to kind of keep that up and then fall again. Then if we can break through this low, then I think that's when it's game over for Bitcoin. We'll probably have a really big retracement. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. I don't really like to look at Bitcoin intraday. If I'm looking at Bitcoin, it'll be the daily, the 4 hours, the lowest I would go. But I like to look at Bitcoin in the higher time frames, because the price action is a little bit better there as well. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. If we are going to fly, let's break the high. Let's break through this resistance here, and then I'll start talking about some retests and continuations. But at the moment, this is kind of what I'm favoring for Bitcoin, to push back into support, and then we'll go from there. Maybe we have another bounce, maybe we break through, but that's the move I'm expecting to see next. And in terms of oil, I'm actually favoring some more downside for oil, at least for now anyway. We could potentially reverse off that low, but I'm not so interested in that for now. I am looking for oil to break low off the retest of this area here, 71.7, 71.8, that area roughly. I think that's the best place for a short. Should oil get there? Of course, it might not. It might just roll over from here and continue down. But then, the ship is already sailed. You want price to be at the high so you can take some shorts, get a decent stop loss in, and then see if we can take it back to the low. That's very much what I would be after with oil. So pretty bearish on oil, be pretty consistent with these lower highs. Over there, there's one, second, third, looking at a fourth, and a continuation back into the low. So yeah, I like oil to the downside. I like it to the downside. I know some of you guys are talking about some reversals off this low. Possibly. I think when we get back down there, I'll revisit that and see if the buys look good. But at the moment, I would be looking at another move down. So yeah, that's kind of where my head is at with oil. Again, I don't trade oil, but if I did, that's a nice setup. Tom, have not caught the stream for the 2 days, been caught up some personal stuff. All right, no problem, man. I complete them this afternoon. I hope you're trading safe. Yeah, no problem, man. Of course, there's no obligation for you to attend the stream. If you've got some stuff coming up, go deal with that. But yeah, I hope you're doing good. And yeah, I mean, we're trading pretty safe right now. I do have a long position on euro, which I'm holding on to into the Fed this evening. So maybe that's not so safe of me, but the stop loss is trailed to break even, so I'm not going to complain. Blessing, Euro USD, dollar yen. Okay, I'll go through those two currencies to wrap things up. Will you make a special stream for FMC, bro? It will be fun to watch. Thing is, I would, but it's just at 7 p.m. It's so late. I mean, I guess I could do a short one. I could do a short one potentially, like a little 20-minute job. Yeah, I guess I could, just for you guys, since you're asking so much. But it better be dropping some lights though. If you're not dropping lights, then that's poor. All right, Ben, have a good one, man. Take care. Gonna get in the garden and enjoy the last few days of the glorious British summer. Yeah, it's making a brief comeback, so it's best we go enjoy it. Okay, let me go have a look at Euro USD and dollar yen. So Euro USD, I am long on this one. A retest of 1.109 is an area I said if you're looking for some intraday opportunities, I feel like this is a nice place for a buy. Of course, we'll see how price gets there and how we react, but on paper, this is looking good. We had a brief pause here, really nice push to the upside for a lot of momentum. I think if we can come back there, retest it, see some rejection, that would look like a nice place for a buy. At the moment, price is trading some resistance here, so I would refrain from buying Euro USD at the moment. But if we can pull back, back to where the buys will be, that would make a lot more sense for some longs. But I do expect Euro to keep pushing higher. I'm looking at pushing to 1.125. If I expand to the daily chart, this is the area I'm looking to take Euro USD into. Again, I don't have a target for my specific trade. I will be trading stops, but that's where I kind of expect price to get to before maybe some downside occurs. And then I'll be looking to trail a stop a bit more aggressively. So that's kind of where I'm at with dollar yen. In terms of used JPY, I'm expecting a bit more upside for this one. We've just come off a really big low. You can see the low here, massive move to the upside. We're now back trading at that same area. Had a nice rejection there Monday as well. Not Monday, sorry, Tuesday. So I do think we'll see some upside there for dollar yen in the next few days. Of course, the Fed tonight, this evening, will have a big say in what the dollar yen is going to do. But to me, this is looking really bullish. I do think price will continue higher. I do think the yen pairs in general will probably push higher for the next few days before they do put their next lower highs in. So looking at upside there, again, with dollar yen, you kind of already want to be in the trade as well. Some entries down there. Now that price has already had a bit of a move, maybe if we come back for a retest, then some entries will look good again. But to me, yeah, I would want to already be in the position for dollar yen. But in terms of my direction and my bias, I'm pretty bullish on dollar yen. In terms of USD CHF, USD CHF is an awkward one. I'm pretty bearish on USD, but I wouldn't be so bearish on USD CHF because of where we're coming into on the higher time frames. This is a massive level of support. So as a swing trader, it doesn't really make sense for me to be looking to short right now for dollar CHF as we approach this low here. If anything, buys make the most sense. So maybe we can come back into the low. And if we see another strong rejection, that could be a nice long. We've done so well 2 previous occasions coming into that low. We could see another rejection on the 3rd occasion, and something like that could look good. I think for this one as well, wait till after the Fed because we might see price push into the level hard and see some wicks, and that could be a nice entry signal afterwards. So I would wait for the Fed to do its thing there and then see how we're situated afterwards, and there could be some nice buys. Unless price is breaking through, but if price is holding on to it, there could be some nice buys either later today or London tomorrow or New York tomorrow. But that's kind of what I'll be eyeing up for dollar CHF. Close to your ends of the USD for a very small win. Okay, now seeing it pump. The pain, I know my man will all be in there holding on some GU longs, and let's drop those likes, people. Appreciate it, my man. Of course, not every trade is gonna play ball. Some trades are gonna stop you out break even. Some are gonna stop you out for a loss and then go in your favor. That's the reality of using stops. Sometimes it's gonna work against you, but on average, they protect your risk. It manages your positions. And that's kind of what we want as traders. But yeah, it's never easy. JJ in that buy right now from the low along with gold. Okay, nice. And selling GJ and EJ short. I'm looking to get involved with, depends which yen pair, either pound yen or euro yen or dollar yen or Swiss yen as well. I'm looking for a bit more upside in the yen pairs before I short, but I do want to take these guys lower because I do think there's a big drop to be had. I can look to hold all of those positions through to the Fed. I was about to say this evening, but I think for you it's probably this afternoon. Are you going to look to hold those positions through the Fed this afternoon for you? Or are you going to look to close some of them? All right, Lord. Take care. We'll see you in the evening then. They sent me there forcibly. I did resist, but they prevailed. After all, they do give you your paycheck, Orion, so they do have some leverage over you, I guess. But hopefully you can do some sightseeing whilst you're away. And tell me if Zurich's a nice place, if I should go visit. But anyway, guys, we have come up to the end of the stream, but I've been coerced, just like Ryan has there, to be doing a stream later this evening at 7 p.m. It will be a short stream because it's late in the day, and I'll be having dinner around that time as well. And yeah, I'll be tired as well. So the energy levels will be a lot lower, but for you guys, I will make that sacrifice. So do stay aware, because I'll probably put a post up about that stream so everyone does not miss it. If you're free, stay tuned for it. If you have enjoyed this stream though, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It does really help out the stream. And of course, make sure you do go and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any uploads or streams in the future. But guys, really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm live every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, from 10 a.m. UK time to 12 p.m. So if you guys are ever free, tune in and say hi. But guys, really appreciate you tuning in. Hope you had a good time. Like I said, if you enjoyed it, leave a like. Have a great day. If I don't see you this afternoon, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. But till the next time, take care.